Hey guys, what's up? Jace over here at Ydraw, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects. We've been trying to push this down companies' throats for years now, and I just thought I'd sit down and break it down for you guys so you know why stories matter. So we're going to discuss stories. Here are 6 stories you should be telling your customers. We have another blog that has 7, but I kind of put 2 together. And so I'm going to go over these, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys what we did for Ydraw. We just created a simple video to show you step number 1, a history of our business. Okay, so let's run through these real quick. Very first thing, every company should be talking about their history. They should be telling the stories of how their company got started. And that does matter. I mean, think about the story of Apple. We all know it. Think about the story of Tesla, about SpaceX, about Facebook. Zuckerberg, young, didn't know what he's doing, built a billion-dollar company. Okay, we all get pulled into the stories. And nobody's telling majority of companies don't tell their stories. Okay, so make sure it's important that you go out there and say, hey, how you got started. Next, and we'll discuss a little more about this in a second. Next is how your product or service was discovered. So what did you do to figure out your product or service? Now you can combine these a little bit, but people want to know, hey, how did you discover your product or service? And by doing that, what happens is they're like, hey, I was in that same guy's shoes. I was looking for the same solution to a problem. And if you tell people how you discovered how your company came about or how the problem was discovered, then they're more likely to buy into your business. And remember, what all of this does is it gets multiple touches, so people want to do business with you. People do business with those who they like and trust. Okay, and all these stories get people to like and trust you so that they'll give you money. Third one is an explainer video. Back in 2011, explainer videos were the hot thing. Everyone went out and got explainer videos because they were told that's what they need. But they didn't realize there was a bunch of other stuff that needs to go with it. So they would have a great explainer video, stick it out on YouTube, and hope they'd get business, but it didn't happen that way. But a good explainer video is simple. You need to do a strong opening, a headline, problem, solution, call to action. That should be your formula because it just shows, hey, here's the problem, here's how our product solves that problem, and then gives them a call to action. You need testimonial videos. You need people who will talk about your business, say, hey, here it's like a case study, or if somebody gets on a camera, that's good social proof. So you need those. You need why you over your competitors. I get asked this all the time on sales calls. Businesses will say, hey, Jace, why should I choose you over your competitors? And I just tell them. We have videos that discuss that. And then finally, tutorial videos. When somebody buys your product or service, it's best if you can give them tutorial videos so they know how to use it. And then within those, you can always ask for referrals. Got it? So let's talk about the history. Whenever I go out and I speak, so last month I went and spoke at PPAI conference, and it was on video marketing. I always start off with my story, my struggle, my triumph, and then why it matters to them. Now, why do I do this? It's so that people can, one, like me, people can look at me and be like, hey, he's relatable. He's been in the dumps. He's had to overcome some trials, stuff like that. If you ever go listen to really good speakers, they always start with their story. Jimmy Fallon, in one of our articles, which I'll link to this, we talked about the first night when Jimmy Fallon came on The Tonight Show. I think it's The Tonight Show. All he did was tell his story. He explained where he came from, and people loved it, okay? So you always want to talk about your story. So when you're telling the history, tell them kind of where you came from, the struggles, and then how you overcame those struggles, and then why it matters to them. Got it? A video that we just created for Ydraw, I'm going to show you how we did it. Well, I'm just going to show it to you, and you'll get how we did it. We basically talk about where we started, why it mattered, and then there were stakes at hand. You have to have some type of stakes in your story. And when I say stakes, that means you have to overcome something. There has to be an obstacle. Okay, if you just go and say, oh yeah, I started a company, made millions of dollars, no one really cares. What they care about is the struggle that it took to start that company. What were you going to lose? Did you put up all your money? Did you put up everything? And every business out there has stakes. So if you take a look at Apple, if you take a look at Facebook, the history of all these great companies, they had stakes. They had something that they were about to lose. They were about to go under. They put all their life online, stuff like that. And every good movie, if you go into the movie theaters, every good movie kind of is structured like this. You have Star Wars. If you've seen Star Wars, starts off with Luke, who parents die, finds a guide, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he trains him. He overcomes great odds, and happily ever after. Got it? And you'll notice like Pixar does the same thing. They have a certain formula that every single one of their videos follows, or their movies follow. Got it? So I'm going to show you the video that we have, but make sure your company is doing these stories. Go out there and start off with a history. Tell people, and it doesn't need to be some big production. Tell people how you got started, why it matters, why it should matter to them. Tell them what you overcame, and just from doing that, you're going to get more business. And then also it gives you content to put in front of people. So if you have questions on this, we would love to help. We do create scripts for this. We do create videos for this. But we'd be happy to help you. Go to ydraw.com, and that is it. Peace.